Hello, 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 hello! Welcome! I am the Radman, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is Guild Wars 2. There are a lot of videos out there about Guild Wars 2, mostly from the beta, though not all, so we're going to have a bit of a playthrough to show you what exactly it's about, because you may have heard some people say it's very, very unique as an MMORPG. It takes a lot of things that have been in old MMORPGs, or rather I'll say other as opposed to old, because there are obviously a lot still going, and it revolutionizes them. Is that a word? If it's not a word, I apologise, but hopefully you get what I mean. It takes old concepts and completely revamps them, or in some cases doesn't even have them at all. Quests is the main example. It sort of has them, but not in the conventional sense that we as gamers are used to. And it has a lot of new things that are very, very completely unique to Guild Wars 2, and it has new things that other MMORPGs have tried, but not so well. I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm going to say that right now. It has its faults, and we'll get to them later, but it is a pretty cool game. So we're going to take you through the character creation just now. So if you want to just watch the playthrough, go to the next video, because the character creation is quite extensive. It's more extensive than World of Warcraft, for example, but not as extensive as the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, or Skyrim, for example. But you'll see what I mean if you watch. We're going to go human, because I've played most of the other races, and human I haven't played, but I really want to give it a go. And we're going to play a class I've never played before, or profession, as they're called in Guild Wars 2. But I'll quickly take you through the races to begin with, to show you what they're like. Humans are, as they say, humans, and they'll give you a bit of backstory in the intro video after the character creation, which will be at the end of this video. But basically, humans, their thing is they worship gods. They've got the human gods, the 6 human gods, I think. I'll kick myself later if I'm wrong. 6 or 7. I'm gonna guess 6. I think 6. I think there were 5 in the original Guild Wars, which I played a bit, but not enough to know really about the lore of this world. So I was pretty new to it when I first came to it. So basically, humans have gods, and that's their thing. It gives them their power. The Char, which here we are, Char. You'll recognise if you played the first Guild Wars games and its expansions. They're a big enemy. But the Char have had a revolution, overthrown their wicked leaders, and come into their own, basically. The Char are the big kind of engineers. They have got a massive, massive city called the Black Citadel, which is an entirely mechanical city, and it's very, very cool. Char was my favourite race I played at the beginning, because they were, look at them, they're giant cat people with horns. They're terrifying, they're amazing. So they're pretty cool. We'll hopefully see a bit of them later. The Norn are they're kind of like Norse, Viking type people, and their thing is they worship the spirits of the wild. The bear, the wolf, the raven, and the snow leopard, and that's their thing. And later on, their elite skills, they can turn into avatars of those spirits. The Ashura are a very new race. I don't think they were in the original Guild Wars, or if they were, I didn't experience them at all, not even a hint of them. Basically, they're like the kind of gnomes or goblins. They come from underground. They were forced out by dragons underground, disturbing them. You'll notice there's no dwarfs. No dwarfs in Guild Wars 2, because the dwarfs, and for those of you who are a fan of dwarfs like myself, I always like a good dwarf race in these kind of games. The dwarfs are underground, fighting some big evil dragon, Primordius, one of the great elder dragons. That's part of the lore, which we'll get to later. Don't worry about that just now. There's a lot to take in with Guild Wars 2, which is why we're doing this playthrough, to take it slow, to have a look at what everything's about. Then there's the Sylvari, which are the newest race. They are basically tree people, sort of the elves of this game, although you can't really call them elves. They're not quite the same as elves. But there we go. Anyway, we're going to go human, and we're going to get on, because I realise I am dithering on a bit. So, character creation. We're going to go male. Could go female. We're going to go male. Both look as awesome as each other. We're going to go male, because I am a male, in case you couldn't tell. These are the professions, or the classes as they're called in other games. It's actually selected the one we're going to play, Necromancer. It's the one profession I've not played extensively, so it's going to be as new to me as it is to you, but hopefully not too new, so we can take you through it a bit. I'll briefly go through these very quickly. There's the Elementalist, which deals in fire magic, water magic, earth and air magic, and they're a kind of range class. In case you didn't know, in Guild Wars 2 there's no concept of tank or healer as a class in itself. Every class, or I keep saying class, profession, every profession can do everything. Everyone can heal, everyone can tank. Some are better at it than others, and some are better at different things than others. The Elementalist, for example, is superb at range damage. I think they can do other things, but their ranged abilities are key. There's the Warrior, standard class in every RPG. Look at him, look at these spikes. He's terrifying looking, he's brilliant. So yeah, so the Warrior can also tank, as you'd expect, but can also heal. They have shouts, banners, big weapons, all that jazz. The Guardian, which is sort of like the Paladin class, but not limited to just being a tank or a healer, they can do a fair bit of damage as well. As you can tell, the warrior and the guardian are the soldier classes. I didn't really show the warrior there. Come on, here we are. There you are. Where are you hiding from us? Silly warrior with your big spikes. Yeah, these two are the soldier classes, as you can tell. So they wear heavy armour. They are mostly melee orientated, although the guardian does have some magic ranged abilities, and the warrior can use things like bows and guns and all that jazz. Speaking of guns, the engineer can use. They've got turrets and bomb kits. They're pretty cool, and I always relish playing engineer classes, but I'm always terrible at them. So this was the first class I actually played. Profession. Keep saying class. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be doing that the whole video. I do apologise. So, but they're pretty cool. They have turrets and big guns and everything. Then there's the ranger, another ranged class. They have pets, as you'd expect, sort of like the hunter type thing. The bows and axes and all that jazz. The thief, which is the rogue class of this game. Their special ability is steal. They can steal an ability from an enemy, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad, but you can level up that kind of ability to do different things. For example, the first character I leveled to max level, which is level 80, was a thief, and I specialised it in when you stole from someone, that it stunned them, which was brilliant, because then you could just hammer away at them with daggers and pistols, whatever you liked. These three classes, the engineer, the thief, and the ranger, they're the adventurer classes, and they wear medium armour, as you'd expect, the equivalent of leather armour in WoW, for example. Then there's the mesmer, which is like an illusion mage. Their speciality is like creating illusions and phantasms and all that, confusing their enemies. They're very good at PvP. You can tell their class was geared for it, but they also excel at PvE. Well, they all do. They're all great. Yeah, so the mesmer, the necromancer, and the elementalist are the wizard classes, I think, or the sorcerer classes, something like that. Basically, the magic using classes. We're going to go necromancer. They have, as you can expect, life drains and undead pets and all that. They're pretty cool. Look at this guy. So this next bit, we'll kind of whiz through as best we can. This is the personalization. It can take, as you can see, we'll get to these bits. It's kind of Skyrim-esque with sliders. Oh, there we go. Quite tanned. I'm not tanned myself. I'm a Scottish person, as you can probably tell. So I've got the Glasgow Grey, as they call it. Very pale skin. Not really. That makes me sound terrible. We're going to go for the standard look I always go for in these kind of games, which is... where is it? Oh, here we are. Big beard, wise old man. Yep. That hair, that hair, that hair. See, you can spend hours just on the hair. Is that good? What's this? Yeah, that's quite good. Is it? No, let's go for shorter. Oh, not that. Accessory colour, go for grey. Facial hair we've got, nice big beard. And here we are, these are the sliders bits. You can see it is quite Skyrim-esque. You just look at, well, that's maybe a bit more obvious what it does. Nice big head. But things like such subtle nuances, and look at that, look at that, look at the eye. You can look at his eyeballs. Look at his eye. It's right here. Watch. Oh, I can grab him. Oh, I can't really. Look at his eyes, and you see this change. So subtle, so subtle. But that's the kind of thing you can do. We're going to go brown eyes, because I've got brown eyes. You can go for other eyes if you like. Nothing wrong with other eyes. But we're going to go brown eyes. Armor dyes you can change at any time you want. Oh, look at his mask. Oh, we'll change that in a second, because you can choose different ones. You can change at any time in the game, so we're not going to worry about that. Here we are. This is the personal story bit, which is, it sets it up for most of the game. However, we'll talk about it more later as we go through the personal story. It is lacking. A lot of the choices you make here don't really affect it. Some of them affect it quite big, as in what personal instanced quests you end up doing. But others, like this one, doesn't really matter other than aesthetically. We can have a necromancer's closest companion is death. In acknowledgement of this, I mark my face with the symbol of a trickster demon. Trickster demons from the mists. The mists are kind of, I think they're the underworld in this game. Sort of, but they're also a PvP area. It's very confusing. Sometimes I don't even get it, which I suppose is not surprising. Find ways to enter our world to tear it apart. I too am a destructive force, and all shall fear me. We can go for a skull. Just a skull. A normal skull. I respect the traditions of necromancers that have gone before me. I mark my face with the symbol of a skull to remind me that even the greatest die eventually. Or a ghostly wraith. A wraith is a creature of energy, and its cunning helps it elude its enemies. What you cannot see can kill you. This is just an aesthetic thing. I don't know. Either trickster demon or skull. Go for trickster demon. That's quite cool. No, skull. Everyone loves a skull. I'm a necromancer after all. Trouble may follow me, but I use my blank to overcome it. Ferocity, dignity, charm. We're charming. We're going to go with charm. I like to be charming. I was raised nobility by common folk in the streets. Among the nobility. I was going to say that doesn't quite make sense. I was raised in the streets. I was raised by common folk. I was raised nobility. Didn't quite fit. I was raised among the nobility. Yeah, we're going to be a lord. Well, not quite a lord, but yeah, I was raised by nobility. One of my biggest regrets is that this part, I was raised blank, and one of my biggest regrets is that blank. These are the bits that determine your personal story quests. One of my biggest regrets is that I've never searched for my true parents, or I've never recovered my sister's body, quite grotesque, or I passed up an opportunity to perform in the circus. Definitely going for that. Love the circus. Love the circus. Here we are with the gods. I'm not quite sure what this does yet, but hopefully we'll find out. Everyone said I was blessed by blank when I was young. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Terrible I had to count there. 6 gods. I got it right, sort of. Lyssa, she wears many masks, goddess of beauty, water, illusion. Cormyr, goddess of spirit and truth. Melandru, nature, all that stuff. Balthazar, fire, war. Dwana, healing, air, life. We're going to go with Grenth, god of death. God of death, look at us, we're a necromancer with a skull for a face. Definitely going to go with Grenth, god of death. A charming necromancer. And we're going to be Sir Rad. I am the Radman, but Radman wouldn't quite work, I don't think. I'm going to be Sir Rad. So let's get into it. This is going to be the cutscene. I'll just enjoy. Hopefully it'll load. I bet it won't load straight away. No, I was right. So I can gibber on a bit now. But the cutscene's pretty cool, so I'll try my best not to talk throughout it. You can kind of see what it's like. It is very, very cool. Here we go.
The human race once ruled Tyria. Now, we struggle to hold our ground. We've been defeated, driven back, broken, but we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Kryta still stands. Our faith is strong despite the silence of the 6 gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in divinity's reach. The city is my home. I was born into luxury, a noble of divinity's reach, and privilege comes with responsibility. I protect the commoners under my care. They believe in me.
Oh.
I'm grateful for their trust.
Graphics bugging out a bit there. Sorry.
Today I plan to venture beyond the gates of the city and see the world for myself. But when I arrived in Shaemor, I found the town under siege by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help.
Oh, look at me.
That we can triumph,
I'm amazing.
that there is still hope.
Look at me all terrifying and daunting and
This
dooming.
is my story.
Oh, this is my story. So that's what I mean. It makes it very, very personal. It's pretty cool. This is my story. Each story is unique because of the different combinations in the character creation. There are so many different combinations of what happens to your character that can come about, which hopefully we'll get a sense of in the playthrough. So that was the character creation and the intro cinematic. It's different for each race, and slightly different depending on what choices you made in your character creation. As you can see, it's very cool. It's like a concept art moving comic strip almost. It's very, very different from cinematics I've seen in other games. But I like it. It's very, very cool, and that's the kind of ilk of what it is. And here we are. This is the beginning of the tutorial. But that's for the next video. That's for later on. So I'll see you later. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm so sorry. But thanks for watching, everyone. And bye for now. I've been the Radman. You've been amazing. See you later.